Check, check. Check, check. Good morning. It is today is Saturday, December 4, 2021. An artist, a video artist, a musician, a composer by the name of Bill Pasdeaux has put together a video which he entitled "A Breakfast with Darth." I will play that video. I'll share that video with you for the first time when we have an audience. So at this point, we're waiting for audience. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to wait for an audience, and then I will commence with this morning's agenda. The first thing on the agenda is this masterpiece by Bill Pasdeaux, Breakfast with Darth, and that will be playing for the first time as soon as we have some audience. Come on, people, gather round. Gather round. Let's have some fun. Bill Pasdeaux has made a video. We want to share it with you. I want to share it with you, so please join in. I'm waiting for some viewers before we carry on. Few seconds, few more minutes. Thank you for that one person who's joined. Put a text in the chat so I can identify you. And maybe we can carry on if you hang around. Hey guys. I like this one. I'm just going to let it play out. Okay, yeah, hey guys. Good to see you. I see one person in the chat. Is that you, Tyler? Because Square Root said hi as well, but somebody disappeared. Out of the two of you, one of you still left. I think it's Tyler. So yeah, even with one viewer, I am ready to get going. And this essentially is it. Yes. Okay. So yeah, this is it. Here it comes. Just going to give you a full screen of it. Hold on a sec. I just got to set it up. Give me 1 moment, please. Yep. Tunes. Okay, we're ready to rock.
nothing on your profile, okay? And you're only a member of my club. So why don't you come up, Bill, and say hello?
Billy boy! Oh, did he leave?
Oh, my God.
Oh, he's
my
here.
God. At long last, long last, I'm about to have my breakfast with Darth. Oh, thank you, Darth. Thanks for letting me into the room. Oh, I love you. Darth,
So Bill,
thank you.
we don't have any information on you.
Oh, I'd love to give you all sorts of information.
We're waiting, Bill.
Where I live, what pharmacies I go to get my life-preserving medications.
We're waiting, Bill.
Purchases I make at local fetish shops. Oh, how about my ancestral lineage, bank accounts, police records, even the shit that didn't stick?
We're waiting, Bill.
What? You can't hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Well, it's none of your fucking business.
Okay, so...
All I wanted to do, and I told you this several times in the direct messages, every time you kicked me from the room,
excellent.
was just to listen. It is true I'm a non-believer, but I like to listen, to be regularly amused by your skill at weasel wordmanship.
So you're a non-believer in what?
A non-believer in what? I'll give you one guess, and it's not a flying spaghetti monster.
Okay, so why don't you believe that there is a supreme being, creator God?
Because in the unimpeachable words of Sir Sidney Winston, all gods are imaginary.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
Divine revelation. Sidney Winston is divine, and I always believe what Sidney tells me.
Yeah, notice how the title of the room, atheists, it's so easy to show that they're liars. All this guy does is he's lying right now.
Sidney! Hey, Sidney! Am I lying? Tell this guy if I'm lying.
You're prevaricating.
Look, Darth, when I have questions that need answers, I form conclusions by what other people tell me. Boy, would it be great if there was just one source of information that could answer all my questions. Then I could just say, God, instead of I don't know. But alas, 'tis just ain't so.
You are prevaricating. You're not answering my question.
Because you keep questioning my answers.
Okay? Listen, I've been doing this 10 years, Bill.
Which is solid proof that you've been getting it wrong for 10 years.
What's that?
They thought the sun orbited the earth for centuries.
What have I gotten wrong, Bill?
You've been wrong about a great many things.
Hey, Bill, instead of being a smartass, why don't you put your money where your mouth is, Bill?
I will put my money where my mouth is if you'll put your mouth where my money is. And then we'll be kissing.
Bill, let's try this again, Bill.
First, I want to know, whatever happened to Parakeet? You remember Parakeet, Otangelo's cross-eyed stepson?
Hey, Bill, stop over-talking me. Now, I want you to tell me how you determine there is no ultimate creator God.
Asked and answered, Darth, as opposed to asking God and getting no answer.
I asked you a direct question and you gave me a phony answer.
Because Sidney Winston says so.
I'm not understanding your answer.
Hey, Sidney, help me out here. Catastrophically obliterate this joker's arguments. I gotta say it again, sir. I did not come up into the room here to get you all kerfuffled. I didn't want to come up in the room.
Good, you didn't have to come up, Bill, but you did come up.
Yeah, and now you got your old geezer fangs in my neck.
Hold on, Bill.
Darth, your whole shtick is based on the behavioral fact that when someone in the room farts, the other people sniff. You're wrong about an ultimate fundamental. You're wrong about facts. You're wrong about truth. But you got narcissism down to a T.
Bill, why is it that every time I ask you a question, you come back with either a non-substantive response or you come back with a question?
Well, it could be that you're so heavily invested in the erroneous vector of your thinking that you can't stand the answers that people in all good faith try to communicate to you.
Bill, how did you determine that Santa Claus doesn't exist?
Darth, oh poor Darth. Santa Claus does exist. He's also called Dad.
How did you decide that Santa Claus indeed does not exist?
Oh, I object, Your Honor. Objection overruled. Oh, I strenuously object, Your Honor. That's how it works? I strenuously object. Well, does Santa Claus exist? Yes. Oh, but does he indeed exist? You sound like Demi Moore. Darth, you just can't handle the truth. God does not get off of square one. When you speak of the ultimate fundamental, God is bloatware.
Tell me how. Okay, listen, Bill. Why do you keep on coming back with these vague, non-specific, non-informative responses?
The truth of the matter is, Darth, that I center what I do in my life on benevolence. Someday, when you grow up and transcend your perennial adolescence, you will come to understand that atheists are the saviors of the theists and the presuppositorians. We continue to engage you, to liberate you, and free you from the delusions of your superstitious, ancient, and erroneous thinking.
All right, goodbye, another atheist liar.
Well, once again, Darth, I came up here to introduce myself because of your kind and gracious invitation. Didn't want to upset you and argue with you. I just want you to stop kicking me from the room so I can listen to the discourse.
No, yeah, well, you're kicked from the room.
How typical. You're kicked from the room. You want to say something. You want to contribute? No! You're kicked from the room. I am Darth Dawkins, and what I say is the law. Yeah, he's old king of projection, all right. So, guys, the room is open. The whole point of this the stream is for you to join me in this room over here. You know how to join, right? If you don't, I have another. Actually, you don't have to join. Just throw another movie on there. Throw a video. Actually, it's a video that is not very long, so. I think I played it before. I can't remember, but it is. It's called "Do I Need to Believe in the Trinity to Be a Christian?" And there's a gentleman by John MacArthur. Actually, while I've got him on the tip of my tongue here, he's John MacArthur. And he's from the, this video comes from the Gospel of Christ. I need to credit. All right, so I'm going to leave. I'm not going to leave anything. I'm going to present a couple of minutes of this gentleman here. Actually, not that gentleman there. It's this gentleman here. So sorry.
A Mormon asked me this question a number of years ago, and through the years here at church, I've asked a number of people this question. There seems to be a divided opinion on it, and I wanted to get your opinion.
Sure.
So she asked me, it was a Mormon lady, asked me when I was witnessing to her, do you have to believe in the Trinity to become a Christian? And I didn't know how to answer at the time.
Yeah. I would answer yes. If you don't believe in the Trinity, then you don't understand who God is. You may say the word God, but you don't understand his nature. Secondly, you couldn't possibly understand who Christ is. I know what I'm saying when I say that. It's going to not only impact people that you may have witnessed to, but there are even people in one form of the charismatic or Pentecostal movement called United Pentecostals, who are called the Jesus only, who believe in a kind of modalism, where God is God for a while, and then he gets to be Christ for a while, and he gets to be the Holy Spirit for a while, but he's never all three at the same time. It is my conviction that true salvation is built upon an understanding of the deity of Jesus Christ, that he is both God, fully God, and that God at the same time is fully God. And that's the whole point of what he did in the Gospels. I mean, Jesus was never satisfied with having people accept him.
So let me get this straight. So Jesus was fully God. Oh, sorry. I want to have a say in this. So let me get this straight. Okay, so Jesus was fully God, and God was fully God. Correct? Is this what? Am I hearing this correctly? Do we need to rewind? Yes, we do. Let's see.
Of what he did in the Gospels. I mean, Jesus was never satisfied with having people accept him as anything other than God. And I think that was the whole thing.
Oh, did you hear that claim? Jesus was never satisfied with anyone accepting him as anything other than God. Well, I'm not satisfied with anyone accepting me as anyone other than God. So there. Now you all pray to me. I'll see what I can do in order to answer your prayers. If I feel like it, I probably won't. But at least you're praying to me. And I'm a real person not answering your prayers. I'm not an imaginary concept being in your mind not answering your prayers. I will stand in for the one true Jesus, which is fully God, and the God that is fully God, and I will not answer your prayers instead of Jesus, so that at least you have someone real who you can be angry at. Okay? That's what I will do for you Christians. I will accept the burden that Christ has passed on, and you will now be worshiping me. Okay? It's up for discussion. If you guys have to have a debate, I think it's a very good idea for you guys to have a debate. But I've already made that proclamation, and it will stick.
That he was demonstrating.
What did he say?
Was the Trinitarian nature of God. So I think not to understand the Trinity is not to understand who God is, and it's not to understand who Christ is, and therefore it's not to understand the gospel properly.
Okay, so not to understand the Trinity means we're close to being a Christian, okay? So this guy is somehow going to explain the Trinity or something? Well, he's got at most a minute and a half left to put his case forward.
Same question arises about the virgin birth. I would say a person could become a Christian if they didn't know about the virgin birth, because they would assume that Jesus Christ must have had a unique birth if he was both God and man, right?
Okay, if you're both God and man, then you are you're violating the law of identity. Did you know that, Mr. John MacArthur? If you're both God and man, in other words, if God is A and man is B, then you've got A equals B. And the law of identity says, no, A equals A. So therefore, if A equals A, which is, say, God equals God, and B equals man, so B equals B, then you got some logic. But to say that A equals B, and B equals A, and A equals C, and C equals B equals A equals, no. Don't fucking give me the song and dance of Christianity. What else this guy got to say?
But if someone says I would deny the virgin birth,
I deny the virgin birth. I just said it, okay? For any of you Christians out there, I, Sidney Winston, I deny the Christian birth. Come at me, bro.
then all you've got is a man. You've got something less than the incarnate God.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. At least he knows how to do theological logic. Or is that an oxymoron? I don't know. I don't know.
It is conceivable that somebody would say, no, he wasn't born of a virgin, he was born of Joseph and Mary, and God just infused the Logos spirit into him, and it could get a little confused that way. But
no, it makes more sense that way, idiot. The guy was born like a real human being, and God goes, you've got Logos. I would buy that way before I buy a virgin birth. Come on, man. Wouldn't you? Seriously, wouldn't you?
basically, I think you need to believe that God is expressed fully in Christ and yet exists as God.
No, you can't do that again. Law of identity. Broken, violated by a human being that's evolved to have a brain that's equipped for critical thinking. This brain that he has is equipped for critical thinking, and yet, listen to this.
And that the Spirit of God was doing the work through Christ. That's what he said. And anything less than that, he said, if you don't see the Spirit working in me, what is that? Blasphemy. So I think the Trinity is inherent to the gospel understanding. Thank you. Good question.
Blasphemy. I'm sorry. That's
years ago, and
that is funny. Blasphemy. All right. Okay, guys, the room is open. I'm just gonna play some music and wait for somebody to join. If nobody joins in a sort of a reasonable amount of time, you know what I mean? Then I'll call it a day. I was actually thinking, before I wander off here, I was actually thinking that you know these open room shows I have. I'm thinking of those shows that I have. It's like, let's say today, I have a show and I do a video, another one, do a reaction, la la la. Then I open the room, and if nobody joins, and I end the stream, then these these streams where nobody joins the chat, I'll just leave as unlisted, and those streams where I do have chat action, conversation, literally one-to-one conversation in a room, I'll leave those as public. I think that's the policy that I'm going to adopt. So do come in. I'm just going to play a little bit of tunes until somebody gets the I don't know, has the time, has filled up their coffee cup, teacup, plucked up the nerve. Yeah, I'll be waiting.
Here, put the guitar in the back. Here's the key.
You have to unmute. Hello. Oh, there you go. Sorry. I already switched off here.
There you go. I only have a few minutes. Going somewhere with my daughter, but that was
I somehow don't. Hold on a second.
but that was amusing. The little thing about the Trinity. I've never been able to wrap my mind around that. Have you?
I don't hear you, Tyler. I don't know why. That is weird. Do you hear me? No, you don't. Just give me a second, guys. I've screwed something up here. Oh, yes, of course. There you go. There's the microphone.
Okay. Can you hear me?
And aha. Got that wrong there. Right. I should be good to go.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Welcome.
I was saying I only have a few minutes. I'm going somewhere with my daughter.
Yeah.
But I thought the part about the Trinity was amusing.
Yeah. Wasn't it?
I've never been able to wrap my mind around that.
Yeah. Well, he tried to he tried to explain it in like 4 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever it was. Idiot.
But it's interesting, like somebody like Darth, Matt Slick, and all these guys. They're all Trinitarians,
Yeah.
while at the same time insisting that the ultimate absolute must be whole and undivided.
It's weird. It's you can't have everything, dude. You can't have it all.
Yeah, that's exactly. You can't have it all. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. These guys are so greedy. That's what
well, you know,
Christianity is, greed.
yeah. But you know, I heard Darth arguing with somebody, and they were talking about they wanted to use the ultimate as the four fundamental forces of nature.
Yeah,
The the electromagnetic, the gravitational, strong, weak.
of
And he said
course.
no. He said no, you can't use that because you can't have more than one thing to be the ultimate. That's
Mm-hmm.
what makes it ultimate. It's whole, undivided, and you know, it cannot be it cannot be two or more things.
Exactly.
And I thought, well, that's the best argument against the Trinity I've ever heard. So
It's
how
just,
does
it breaks the laws of logic, and you can't escape that. I don't understand how for 2,000 years the laws of logic have been allowed to be set aside for the sake of the triune God, for the Trinitarian explanation that everything that fucking one, two, that God the Father, God the Son, God the Spirit, that's like four now. You've got four entities and they're all one with the same, and nobody can understand what the same substance, and then the one's a person, the other one's an essence, and it's such crap that
yeah
that I'm shocked that it's even an accepted and not ridiculed concept. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. Fucking Catholics. Fucking Catholics have got us hypnotized. Not us, certainly not me, but certainly they've got the world hypnotized to their Trinity. You know, Kate, do you know the Canadian Catholic? The
Yeah, I've heard him. Uh,
Yeah, well, he's becoming very, very, very. You know what he wants to do? He wrote a post. He wants to cancel Freedom for Religion Foundation. He wants to actually cancel them. He wants to have them. He wants to have them eradicated from the internet, from YouTube, because they make really good videos.
by what authority?
By the authority that that they are anti-religion and they specifically anti-Catholic. Kick them off the internet, he says. Canadian Catholic. This is the kind of low-level intellect we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know who Matt Powell is, don't you?
I know who Matt Powell is. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody was speaking with him, and they were asking him about Levitical law, and his he should we stone homosexuals, for example, and his answer was yes. You know,
Oh, was
um,
it? No.
yeah, that
Not surprising.
it superseded the constitutions, or actually what the whole idea is that there's a lot of people out there, more than most would think,
Hmm.
who would like to have uh, United States under Levitical law.
What does that mean? Tell me something. What does that mean?
That
What would
all
life
the
be? What would life be like under Levitical law?
well, just look no farther than the Taliban, you know, over in
Well,
Afghanistan and places, where they have,
so how will
you
the
know,
law specifically affect women?
well, just open up the Bible to Leviticus.
No, I can't. You know what? I've read enough of the Bible to see the gory, to read enough of the gory details that are in there. I am quite happy to have had that experience, but I don't think it's worth returning to a book of trauma, a book of emotional trauma and raw, inhumane action deeds between one human and being another one. It's just horrible.
Yeah.
So you tell me what you know, and well, let me give you the backstory. I was once sitting for a few years. I was testing my atheism, I guess, by immersing myself in learning about Judaism, and I used to attend uh, this rabbi's Monday evening talks for like 2 years, every Monday night. And what I heard from the Jewish perspective, what I learned from the Jewish perspective was incredibly impossible to believe. You know, what they were telling us to believe. This is what Jews believe, sort of thing. We believe that Moses trekked through the desert for 40 years, and the Jews had the Torah, spoken to them by Moses, and they took it with them orally all the way through the desert and all the way into Canaan and all the way whenever, until somebody started writing it down from the oral tradition of who knows how many generations. So knowing that this is what we have to believe as Jews, I said, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, the Israeli archaeologists have have shown that that never happened.
Exactly. Moses never existed. And if Moses never existed, everything goes plop. It's like a domino effect. To me, it's not even Abraham who's the central, because that could be a story. But the Moses thing is so central to the validity of all three Abrahamic religions, that to debunk and to categorically debunk Moses as being, to the mythological shelf, or the mythology shelf in the library, is to destroy all credibility in all three Abrahamic religions. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, students, we need to go out, take all your archaeological skills and your historical research skills, and let's see if Moses really did live. And if he did, if he was a real person, then the Abrahamic religions have some credibility. If not, they have zero credibility. So it's a very fine line that these guys are
So
treading.
it's already been done. I mean, they had all the motivation in the world to find, evidence of the Exodus and of Moses, because what they wanted to prove was that they had the right to the land that Israel is occupying, at the
Well,
time. So,
Israel's not occupying nearly all of the land that they have the right to, if that's the standard.
well, that's what they want. I guess they wanted to show the validity of
Okay,
the
well, if
claim.
that's the case, then Israel needs to spread its wings and occupy its real land, which is like a whole bunch of, like all of Jordan, a whole bunch of Syria, a whole bunch of yeah, well, Syria is pretty big, and Iraq, a whole bunch of that too. So let's start massing troops, taking our land back. What do you think there, Tyler?
um, yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's not gonna not gonna
But
happen.
well,
No, it's not gonna happen.
the thing is, they had all the motivation in the world to, and they came up empty, and they
Yeah.
said they had to admit, like, yeah, the Exodus um, is more myth than fact. So,
Well, it's
that's
totally
all.
myth. You see, that's the thing. It's when you say more myth than fact, it kind of gives the impression that there's a little bit of fact to it, to me. But I don't think there's any fact.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, how things go. The one, small, let's say a small group of people broke away from a tyrant king or something like that, and then that gets passed down, and then other cultures adopt it, and then, in the same way that, they adopted the story of Gilgamesh for Noah's Ark. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a flood happened, and by the time it gets through centuries and centuries of being retold, passed from one culture to another, yeah, a flood happened, but now it's a worldwide flood, and
Yeah.
and so on. So it grows and grows and grows till it's out of control.
Correct.
So yeah, and the fact was that a flood happened, you know, somewhere in the Middle East, and then it grew from there. So
Right.
maybe whatever, but the fact is that you know, they were honest enough
Well,
to say,
floods do
yeah,
happen. The fact is that there's no maybe
oh yeah,
about the fact that floods happen. Sure they do.
yeah, floods happen, and we know what, you know, the kind of evidence that they leave behind.
Yeah.
You know, they layered bedding, and so, you know, if a worldwide flood had happened,
Mm-hmm.
it would be so evident that it, you know, in the in the layers,
Mm-hmm.
in the geological layers, that we wouldn't be able to ignore it. You know, there would be a boundary. You would,
Well,
you
how do
know,
you think the geologists hold themselves back from ignoring it? Because it must be difficult for them.
oh well, you know, because there's a worldwide conspiracy. You know, they don't want to they don't want to become rich and famous. They would rather, you know, hold on to a conspiracy so that they can put their do dangly doos in the naughty place. You
Oh,
know, they just want to sin. You know,
yeah,
the
yeah, there is that.
you know, who cares about money? Who cares about fame and reputation?
Mm.
You know, when you can sin.
But
So
you know,
we got to keep it
s-
going. We got to
they,
keep the lie going.
they make sin seem, or the dangly doodly doodly dees that they want to do, they make it seem like, you know, so bad and so, you know, like taboo, when it's probably just uh their own issues that are making them think it's taboo.
Yeah, not sure.
No, I'm not
The,
sure either.
I mean, it, I don't know why they use that. You know, creationists use. Well, they just want to sin. That's the motivation
Because that's what they
for.
want to do. That's what they want to do. It's
Yeah,
their, yeah. It's their way of saying, look how much of a martyr I am. I don't do what these atheists do. Sin.
but going back to the Trinity thing, I think if somebody has a conversation with Darth, they, you know how much he likes his dichotomies. They should
Jeez.
lay forth the dichotomy that God is united, indivisible, and whole, or he's not. He's divided into three. Would
There you go. I like that one. I
yeah.
like that one. Darth, come
Which
on in.
which
Come on in. I got
which one is it?
yeah, Tyler has a question for you. Get in.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wouldn't
Well,
it
no one
be?
gets to ask him questions
You
like
know,
that because they
listen,
get kicked or
I
something.
have a prediction, and I made it before. It's not the first time I made it. There's it's like circular, it seems. You know, Darth Dawkins has gone from Pell Talk to Google Hangouts to Discord to Clubhouse. I believe he's going to come back to Google Hangouts because Google Hangouts is back. And also nobody else wants him. So he has to, in order to get his supply, which he's not getting, so he's choking. He's like a vampire in the sunlight. He's starting to turn into powder. So he will be back on Hangouts and he will be on this show. I predict that Darth Dawkins will come in to this hangout at some point. Maybe not today. Obviously not today, but give it time. December's a crazy month, remember.
Okay, yeah, let's see if that happens.
Yeah. No, it's if it doesn't happen, I'd probably sleep better. I won't be so shocked. But we'll see. I think it's his only he doesn't have anywhere else to go. He's got to come back to unless another platform sort of appears, which is not out of the question, I guess.
It seems like the clubhouse Christians aren't as forgiving as the Discord.
No, they put their foot down. Put their foot down with Mr. Dawkins, with Mr. Dick Dawkins, Darth Dawkins. Why don't we start calling him Dick Dawkins? Actually, that makes more sense, and it removes the false. I don't like that name Darth because it belongs to. It should be copyrighted. So Dick Dawkins.
Big Dawkins, yeah.
Dick Dawkins, sure, why not? I mean, Richard Dawkins is Richard. Dick is short for Richard in a lot of cultures. So Dick Dawkins. There you go. Because Richard Dawkins never called himself Dick Dawkins. So now
Yeah.
Gary Moon plays the character of Dick Dawkins. Dick Dawkins the Dick.
I never understood some of those other names like Dawkins Deity.
Well, that's because he
What is
was
that?
he was
What was
fumbling.
that supposed?
Who knows? He was fumbling. He was trying to prove the atheist worldview incoherent. 10 years ago, he started on this crusade,
Right.
and now he's landed up 10 years later in his mother's basement, preaching to teenagers who need a daddy figure because they don't have any, I don't know, structure in their lives.
Right.
That's pretty sad.
That's it's crazy. I mean, you can go on there like 9 o'clock in the morning, and you'll see and other people, not just him. There are other people. They'll be on 9 o'clock or earlier, and then you go to work, you do your thing, you get back on at 9 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and it'll be the same room,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll be there, and it's like, I mean, who has that much time to just talk? I mean, sometimes I'm like,
Basement dwellers, I would say for sure have that much time.
I mean, I can understand, you're at work. Sometimes I'm at work and I'm bored. I'm doing something, I don't have anybody around, so I'll get on and I'll just listen.
Right.
Something for entertainment.
Correct.
So I mean, they're active. They're active and talking for 12 hours straight sometimes.
Aye.
And
That's the
or
old Google days. That's what we used to do. But we never used to stream live. It just used to be this kind of room like this with tons of people in. Well, up to 10 anyway. And then we'd be yakking away or arguing or screaming or doing whatever. It was nice. It was nice in those days.
yeah. Did you hear the latest Tom Rabbit video with Contact?
Yes, I did.
And I think the Contact was just kind of like letting him do his thing. Like, okay. What does it have to do with the Bible?
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever. He was just kind of like appeasing him. But they wanted to get to the part where, okay, so how does this prove the Bible is true?
Yeah, so he kept on asking that. So how does that get you to Christianity, to the Christian God?
Yeah. And that's the part where, uh, that's when you get kicked. When you ask a question,
So this is the answer to that. So, Darth, I see. So I understand from Van Til and Greg Barnson that this is the only way to God. I see your point of view. I get it now. I would love to hear. I'd love to hear what his answer would be.
Yeah. And then they're like, well, I don't get it or whatever. And then once he kicks them, And then he's like, even after I've shown them that they need
Yeah.
Jesus, I've shown them that their worldview is incoherent and they can't even say the
The-
sky is blue without God. Even then, it's like, is that? I wonder if in his mind he thinks that that's what he accomplished. I mean, if he does, and that's a delusion that is, you know, I can't fathom being that delusional about
well, the
about
thing
yourself.
is, I can't fathom it. I can't fathom it either. But they are so well, not that many, I guess. But there are a lot of people who are at that same level of insanity, and to say that Christians are not insane is just is a denial of a fact.
It's I think the Muslims are in the same boat. Jews, I don't know. It's you would you would think that with all the technology, all the science, all the knowledge that people have at their fingertips,
Hmm.
it's just you know, and Google search away, you can learn so many things,
Yeah.
and it is way worse than when I was a kid. I mean, things were much more. People were much more grounded and rational. It seems like, back in the '70s about certain things.
Well, about everything. They didn't have the internet to spread all this nonsense to them.
Yeah, that's it. You had dumbasses that were isolated and they had no way to communicate with. Now the internet has given the stupidity a platform.
Yeah. The internet has provided a way to spread the stupid throughout the world.
And they're taking advantage of it.
Oh, it's just this because this is the beginning of the internet. It's like going to be the rise and fall of organized religion because of the internet. But this is just the beginning of the internet, and the internet will win. The internet will crush organized religion. It's a destiny because of the fact that people are being born into a generation of parents who and who are witnesses to what the Catholic Church has done to people over in modern modern and middle and medieval history. So, well, going back to as soon as they became a government.
Well, I'm hoping all this, the presuppositional argument is like the last gasp uh, before it goes down.
Yeah,
But, I don't,
yeah. I think society has changed. There are signal moments, signal events that change society. Like for sure, the world before 9/11 is not the same as the world after 9/11.
yeah,
The world after COVID is not going to be the same as the world before COVID. And because of COVID, COVID's a catalyst for some incredible technology in terms of communication technology, remote communication technology, Zoom, etc. This one, etc. Bill Pasdeaux, did you miss anything, dude? Well, come into the room and we'll review your movie again. But yes, I did. I played your movie and everything in the beginning. Go rewind to the beginning and just watch for a bit.
I've
That.
I've arrived at my destination with my daughter here,
Okay.
so I'm gonna have to go. But you're gonna have a good conversation with Bill. I'll
Yeah.
listen in.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much for joining and making me not have to unlist this this video.
Okay. I'll talk to you later, Sid.
Bye, Tony.
Bye.
All right, Bill, you watch, and I'm gonna play a movie again. Just watch me. Oh, I gotta find the right thing to show. There we go. Just give me 1 minute, my friend. 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute, please. So I wasn't ready for this. Ah, we might not have to do that at all. Bill, welcome.
It says I. Let me turn my, oops. Let me fidget around with my controls as usual.
Your camera's turned off. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
It's on.
Now I just turned it on.
Yeah, it's on. It's on.
No, I can't see it. All I see is my picture. I just missed my cat puking. Let me see. Oh well. Oh, so
You have a cat.
yeah, you got cats. See, I can't see my camera. I'd give you a good shot. What's wrong with this damn Google Meets?
I can see it.
But I can't. Who cares if you can see it?
Well, that's because you just haven't set your view. Let's see. Go to your 3 dots. Go to your 3 dots, and then change.
Video,
No,
webcam.
no.
It shows me.
No. Go to change layout on your settings. I'm sorry,
Okay.
not your settings. Your 3 dots.
Options. Change layout. It says tiled. I'm gonna put auto.
There you go.
It didn't make any difference.
So what are you saying? You can't see yourself?
I see you with your mask on.
Yes.
A big dot. When you speak, it has halos.
Yes.
And my tile looks exactly the same with my picture in it.
Okay. Well, I do see you, so I don't know what's happening on your end.
Yeah, I know. Let me jump out and come back in.
All right.
It's some freaking Google glitch.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Hello. Okay.
Okay.
You see yourself now?
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's kosher, as they would say.
Ooh, that's not really a good thing to say.
Why not?
Because kosher sucks. Really, really sucks.
I don't know. I'm thinking. Actually, I don't know what kosher is. I know what Jewish cooking is, but I don't know which of it's kosher and which of it isn't. So it could be Yiddish cooking and European cooking.
Yeah, it's all, I don't know.
Potato pancakes. Is that kosher?
Potato pancakes? Latkes? Yes.
Okay.
Well, potatoes kosher for sure.
Okay. Let's see. What's kasha, which is sometimes known as buckwheat, but it was called kasha in my household.
I'm not sure what that is. I never grew up in a Jewish household. I grew up in an extremely Western secular household.
Well, the next best option is just to attend as many Jewish weddings as possible.
No, I did.
Memorials.
I knew all about
You'll
kosher.
eat.
Listen.
Okay.
every Friday night and every festivity where there's a meal, we were always dragged to my very religious grandparents. So, we got it there. But they didn't do anything but just go through the motions and the praying and everything. And all the smaller cousins, because they had this long table, right? And all the grown-ups would be up at the top, and all the kids would be down at the bottom. So we didn't really have much to do with the praying and anything. They were just doing it. We were just yakking around because we were kids.
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking, we were, my mom was a Holocaust survivor, emigrated from Europe. My dad was first generation, in New York, Brooklyn, um, Jewish, but neither of them were Orthodox. But there was the culture. My dad was bar mitzvahed and whatever,
Yeah,
but came out here to Arizona and just loosened up. So
that's great.
yeah, but we had a lot of Jewish exposure to the Jewish culture. So I'm thinking about the food, and I was just wondering what was kosher or not. I never liked gefilte fish. You ever
Oh,
had
I
gefilte?
love gefilte.
Anything pickled, I don't like, and it's kind of pickly.
Gefilte? No, 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 it's not. Not the gefilte fish I had. Well, the gefilte fish I had was cooked. The
Okay.
day it was served up from the I don't know from the kitchen to the plate, and I ate it. It was delicious. I used to love it with horseradish.
Yeah, our gefilte fish was always in glass jars that said Manischewitz on it. So
Yeah, no, 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 no. That's no yuck,
not the
yuck,
real thing.
yuck. No, no, yuck.
Okay. And then there was lox, bagels and lox with cream cheese and onions. Is that kosher?
Bagels.
Is that
That wasn't something that I tell you what. Bagels and lox, probably. I don't know, but I'm talking about my my grandparents' house, where everything was kosher for sure. So there was
yeah?
the gefilte fish, there was chicken, there was this kind of sweet noodly thing.
My
Um,
paternal grandmother was kosher, and she'd come out to visit, every couple summers. And I remember there being some sort of conflict with the food that was being presented. Some of it wasn't kosher, and it had to be kosher. But I was very young, so I don't know. But they
oh
had
dear.
salmon. They had salmon in the Dead Sea, right? So they had plenty of salmon to smoke to make lox,
All right.
right? Right. Okay. Well, just as long as you confirm that historical
Yes.
fact, there
Well,
were
fish is kosher. It doesn't matter.
salmon were in the Dead Sea. Okay,
Salmon in the Dead Sea? No, you
so I
don't know.
asked you. Okay,
Just obviously, I'm not listening.
you gotta perk up when you're talking to me, pal.
Boy, I tell you something. I've learned a very valuable lesson.
Okay. So how many were watching when you showed my ditty?
I don't know, a couple, three,
Okay.
maybe zero. I don't remember. But there was one. I thought I'd say one. If one was watching, I'd start the show.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and feed it out to other sources. Then I gave you the exclusive on it.
Thank you very
Oh,
much. Thank you
and I
very
might
much.
appreciate you misspelling my last name in the credits. So
No, I
there's an A.
didn't. P
Yeah,
A
there's
S
a.
D E A B U X.
That's not what was on the screen.
Okay, what is how do you spell your name?
You dropped the A. You spelled it.
Daeux?
Yeah,
Oh, you're
Paz.
right. You're right. You're right. I did.
So if you could go in and clean that up
There,
for
it's already.
subsequent airings,
Yeah,
su-
absolutely.
subsequent
Yes.
airings back by
Yeah, hold on a
demand.
second. Hold on a second. Just spell it for me again. Pasd.
EAUX.
Okay, okay.
It's French.
We don't deal with the French. You're very lucky to be allowed on here now that you've EA. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now it's set the record straight.
Thank you very
Now,
much.
and now page 2. You remember Paul Harvey, don't you?
Paul
Paul Harvey.
Harvey?
Yeah, remember Paul Harvey?
Yes.
He was folksy.
I liked him. What is it? And now for the rest of the story. Yeah.
And who do we have now? You need to be the next Paul Harvey. We got to get you broader exposure, Sidney. You could be the next Paul Harvey.
Yeah, I could do with the exposure.
Paul Harvey Canadian? He could have been.
He must have been, because when I was living up in the northern part of Prince George, of northern part of BC, Paul Harvey was like a daily thing. So and they would have had strict Canadian content up there. Not strict, but
Okay.
you know, if it was Canadian, they'd broadcast it no matter what.
Do you think Darth is the latest Joe Pine?
What's a Joe Pine?
I don't know that Joe Pine.
No.
He was the first of the controversial guys on TV. Had a TV talk show, like before Morton Downey Jr. and even Bill Buckley, I believe. William F. Buckley Jr. was more mainstream and stuff. But you had Joe Pine. I think it was radio mostly, but I think he had a midnight talk show, like in the early '60s, middle or early '60s. Got to Google it. But Joe Pine, he was had some chutzpah. He was controversial, rude, interlocutor.
Well, that reminds me of me.
Yeah, you're
controversial, rude, asshole.
Well, I was wondering if I ever got a chance to call Darth Joe Pine, if Darth would get it. I know Darth and I will be talking eventually.
Well, on this channel you will be.
You'll get in there too. You'll see how things can happen. But I'm getting invitations from the room again now. So
from which room?
From the Worldviews and Conflict room.
Take your
Turd House or
take your recording equipment with you.
Always. Well, actually, they have a little button that says record. You can record those conversations, unless the moderator turns it off. I think you can turn the option off. So I don't know. No, but I got it covered. I use Audacity. It's just the best for that stuff.
Yes,
you got to set it up right.
I know. I always mess that up.
Yeah.
So I've ditched. I mean, I haven't ditched Audacity. I just have been frustrated by it too much. Because I'm not. I just don't. I find my video editing software gives me as much control of the audio as Audacity does, or for what I need anyway.
Yeah, I took the when you tape it, when I tape it off of Audacity, off of the internet, often there's bad quality.
Right.
With the source, but right in Audacity you can clean it up.
You can clean it all up, for sure. You can't
really
do that
nice.
in video editing.
Right.
But I always mess it up, the cleaning, somehow. I needed practice, and I don't really need Audacity at this point. But when I really do need it, then I'll spruce it up.
Oh, that's good. Well, it's only a 6-minute little shtick that I did, so feel free to play it.
I'm gonna play it as soon as as the closing. Closing 7 minutes and 37 seconds of this the stream.
And maybe again, just use it as a little thing in the future, every couple of days, or see what happens. If you have 12 viewers, you'll know that the last time you played it, there were only 4, so 8 new people will probably be seeing it, and so this could really snowball for you.
I'm just wondering why you don't just also set up your own channel and put it on there.
Yeah. Well, you have to be awake to do that.
Oh, so, come on. All you need is collaborators.
Yeah. I might try to do that.
Come on, we can all work together.
I'm trying to sneak in and nestle myself in
your arms. Us scumbag atheists, we can work together.
It's like years ago when McCain was running against George W. Bush for president, And here in Arizona, he was the Maverick back then, and we were all gung-ho, and he had won a couple primaries, and things were looking good. Then all of a sudden, he drops out, and they got a picture of him standing, I swear to God, in George W. Bush's armpit. Bush has got his hand up there, and here's McCain's head nestled in his armpit. And that was the end for the
I think
Maverick.
that's what gave him brain cancer.
That was the end of the Maverick for me. But I thought maybe
that's a meme right there.
Yeah, you gotta find that picture.
John McCain passing brain cancer onto. George Bush passing cancer onto John McCain through his armpit.
This is what happens when a Western man don't use deodorant.
Brain cancer.
Well, okay then. I just got to run now.
All right. If you still have the YouTube running, I'll run your the movie again.
I'll log out just to see it. I was hoping people might pop in and talk, but
yes, that was my hope as well, and I appreciate that you did. Tyler was here just before you came in.
Yeah, I've talked to him before, pleasant man, and but he
Very
ran.
pleasant.
I want to get a Lucky 7 Wolfen or whatever his name is.
Oh, I think so. I want to get him in as well.
Gotta lure him in like Darth lured me in. Come on up, introduce yourself. And then we get our fangs in his neck.
Right.
Okay. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta, Bill. Take care, man. All right, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The movie you've all been waiting for.
You have nothing on your profile, okay, and you're only a member of my club. So why don't you come up, Bill, and say hello?
Billy boy. Oh, did he leave?
Oh my God.
Oh, he's
my
here.
God. At long last, I'm about to have my breakfast with Darth. Oh, thank you, Darth. Thanks for letting me into the room. Oh, I love you. Darth,
So Bill,
thank you.
we don't have any information on you.
Oh, I'd love to give you all sorts of information.
We're waiting, Bill.
Where I live, what pharmacies I go to get my life-preserving medication.
We're waiting, Bill.
Purchases I make at local fetish shops. Oh, how about my ancestral lineage, bank accounts, police records, even the shit that didn't stick?
We're waiting, Bill.
What? You can't hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Well, it's none of your fucking business.
Okay, so...
All I wanted to do, and I told you this several times in the direct messages, every time you kicked me from the room...
Excellent.
...was just to listen. It is true I'm a non-believer, but I like to listen, to be regularly amused by your skill at weasel wordmanship.
So you're a non-believer in what?
A non-believer in what? I'll give you one guess, and it's not a flying spaghetti monster.
Okay, so why don't you believe that there is a supreme being, creator God?
Because in the unimpeachable words of Sir Sidney Winston, all gods are imaginary.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
Divine revelation. Sidney Winston is divine, and I always believe what Sidney tells me.
Yeah, notice how the title of the room, atheists, it's so easy to show that they're liars. All this guy does is he's lying right now.
Sidney! Hey, Sidney! Am I lying? Tell this guy if I'm lying.
You're prevaricating.
Look, Darth, when I have questions that need answers, I form conclusions by what other people tell me. Boy, would it be great if there was just one source of information that could answer all my questions. Then I could just say God instead of I don't know. But alas, 'tis just ain't so.
You are prevaricating. You're not answering my question.
Because you keep questioning my answers.
Okay? Listen, I've been doing this 10 years, Bill.
Which is solid proof that you've been getting it wrong for 10 years.
What's that?
They thought the sun orbited the earth for centuries.
What have I gotten wrong, Bill?
You've been wrong about a great many things.
Hey, Bill, instead of being a smartass, why don't you put your money where your mouth is, Bill?
I will put my money where my mouth is if you'll put your mouth where my money is. And then we'll be kissing.
Bill, let's try this again, Bill.
First, I want to know, whatever happened to Parakeet? You remember Parakeet, Otangelo's cross-eyed stepson?
Hey, Bill, stop over-talking me. Now, I want you to tell me how you determine there is no ultimate creator God.
Asked and answered, Darth, as opposed to asking God and getting no answer.
I asked you a direct question and you gave me a phony answer.
Because Sidney Winston says so.
I'm not understanding your answer.
Hey, Sidney, help me out here. Catastrophically obliterate this joker's arguments. I gotta say it again, sir. I did not come up into the room here to get you all kerfuffled. I didn't want to come up in the room.
Good, you didn't have to come up, Bill, but you did come up.
Yeah, and now you got your old geezer fangs in my neck.
Bill.
Darth, your whole shtick is based on the behavioral fact that when someone in the room farts, the other people sniff. You're wrong about an ultimate fundamental. You're wrong about facts. You're wrong about truth. But you got narcissism down to a T.
Bill, why is it that every time I ask you a question, you come back with either a non-substantive response or you come back with a question?
Well, it could be that you're so heavily invested in the erroneous vector of your thinking that you can't stand the answers that people in all good faith try to communicate to you.
Bill, how did you determine that Santa Claus doesn't exist?
Darth, oh poor Darth. Santa Claus does exist. He's also called Dad.
How did you decide that Santa Claus indeed does not exist?
Oh, I object, Your Honor. Objection overruled. Oh, I strenuously object, Your Honor. That's how it works? I strenuously object. Well, does Santa Claus exist? Yes. Oh, but does he indeed exist? You sound like Demi Moore. Darth, you just can't handle the truth. God does not get off of square one. When you speak of the ultimate fundamental, God is bloatware.
Tell me how. Okay, listen, Bill. Why do you keep on coming back with these vague, non-specific, non-informative responses?
The truth of the matter is, Darth, that I center what I do in my life on benevolence. Someday, when you grow up and transcend your perennial adolescence, you will come to understand that atheists are the saviors of the theists and the presuppositorians. We continue to engage you, to liberate you, and free you from the delusions of your superstitious, ancient, and erroneous thinking.
All right, goodbye, another atheist liar.
Well, once again, Darth, I came up here to introduce myself because of your kind and gracious invitation. Didn't want to upset you and argue with you. I just want you to stop kicking me from the room so I can listen to the discourse.
No, yeah, well, you're kicked from the room.
You've said your piece, and you said you were going to leave and not come back. That would be great.
You see, I mean, you can kick me, you piece of chicken shit.
I'm not going to kick you.
Kick me.
I want you to leave.
You fucking Zionist piece of trash.
Okay,
You are a Zionist.
so
You're a Zionist piece of trash, and that's why you hate Muslims.